Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. Even though I didn't start this video by reading out a book synopsis, it is nevertheless a book review. And given the school year is about to start, or has already started in some areas of the world as of the time of this video's release, I thought the best book for the occasion would be For the Love of Teaching, The Anti-Racist Battlefield in Education by Mary Osei Opong. The TLDW for this review is the book is good. It knows what kind of message it is trying to convey, and it manages to convey it in a clean and professional, easy to follow manner. If you're looking for an easy or quick primer on a pervasive issue that has a lot of complications attached to it, well then, I think you'll very much enjoy this book. I think it is very suited for the occasion. I do nevertheless have to issue some content warnings about it, namely concerning the depictions of racism and racial discrimination. This is perhaps to be expected, and while these depictions aren't glorified in any way, they still are likely to cause distress among some readers. So that is something I think they should be made aware of before they go into this book. Now that I've gotten the short version of this review out of the way, it's time I delved into the longer form by taking a look at the author herself. And I'm going to start with a look into the author. Damn, sometimes I'm babbling. Anyway, a self-described citizen of the world, Mary Osei Opong was raised in Ghana, or grew up in Ghana, before moving to Scotland and becoming a teacher. She practiced this profession for about 22 years and then retired around 3 years ago. And ever since, she has furthered her engagement with various anti-racist activism initiatives, the kinds which she has started involving herself with while already employed as a teacher. This book could be considered as the first step towards that deeper commitment, given she wrote it around the time she retired from teaching, in order to present and comment and talk about all of the discrimination and injustice that she has faced as a teacher from an ethnic minority background. It would be very tempting to refer to the topic of this video as her burn book, but that is definitely not the case, because Mary is neither petty nor spiteful when it comes to creating this book or when presenting the events within this book. In fact, quite the opposite. She is quite thorough and quite decisive in what it is that she is showcasing to her audience, and what it is that she considers relevant to for the message of the book. She knows exactly what it is that she should say, what information is most directly relevant, and she has been quite thorough when it comes to keeping the receipts and presenting the evidence she needs in order to further the message that she is trying to build up towards. There is a genuine care and a genuine professionalism that is tied into creating all of these books, and that professionalism shines through not just in her struggle for justice, but also in her general activity as well. In fact, only about half of this book is actually um, is actually about that, about exposing or presenting the injustices she has faced. Uh, the other half is actually a lot more, biographical, so to speak. It is more of an overview of Mary herself and her professional activity, and why it is that she decided to become a teacher. What drew her to the topics which she decided to teach. What is it that characterizes her as a teacher? How is it that she works, and what is it about her way of interacting with others that makes her seem distinguished, that makes her seem intriguing. And I have to say that has been very interesting to read through. And after she has already established that, given the audience a bridge to herself, she then goes into the discrimination that she has faced at approximately the same rate she would have faced it IRL. It's nothing. Now I have to put what I'm about to say very carefully, because the because the discrimination that she does describe is perhaps not particularly shocking, and that might cause certain white people to dismiss it out of hand because that's not real discrimination or whatever. To those white people, I say, first of all, you're idiots, and I'm very certain that there are various professionals who are of a similar ethnic minority or have similar backgrounds, not just in teaching but in various other professions as well, who might be able to recognize some of the things that Mary has encountered uh, in their work life as well. Maybe not as a day-to-day occurrence, but if it happens once, it's still bad. Reading through this book, I couldn't help but be reminded of what Hannah Arendt called the banality of evil, namely how people are willing to ignore or even carry out various harmful acts, either because they don't recognize that these acts are harmful, or because they think whatever harm these acts do cause is to some extent inconsequential for whatever reason. So yeah, this book touches upon some pretty troubling topics, if it wasn't obvious already. But its overall tone is still hopeful and forward-looking, given that towards the end, Mary actually presents various suggestions on how situations like the ones she has encountered can be, confronted or avoided within within the future. The overall structuring of the arguments that this book has is done quite well. Their presentation, however, is less than stellar. My chief issue with this book is the formatting, which is very messy. As in, there are no page breaks between chapters, and when reading through it, it kind of at times seems like a very long run-on sentence. I could believe that this is done deliberately, so that because Mary would want to showcase the franticness she is forced into because of the discrimination that she faces. However, that is not the impression I get from the overall book, because I very much see it as her trying to be as professional as possible. And when it comes to how she paces her message, and when it comes to how she wants to back it up. So I'm more inclined to think that is an error rather than something deliberate. The other thing I find less than pleasant is the fact that she uses various turns of phrases that are not particularly inviting, or and they're not particularly inviting, or that don't really service the points that she is trying to address. So yeah, this may sound petty, but it did affect my reading experience, and that is what I am really judging this book on. And therefore, I have to address it in order to make a a complete and outstanding review. Overall, while I find myself less than pleased with the presentation that the book uses in order to when it comes to its argumentation, the actual content of these arguments is crafted quite well, and I think it serves as a useful introduction into what it actually means to face and to confront issues such as those presented. My final rating for the anti-racist battlefield in education is a 3 out of 5. This might sound a bit harsh, I acknowledge that, but really, the issues of the book are indeed, in fact, that severe. And yeah, that was my review. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it, well then please leave a like, maybe even share this video wherever you think other people will like it as well. If there is anything you'd like to add to the review or to the book itself, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My own book, Heir to the Empire of the Next Generation, is available at most major book retailers under a master link in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I'll suggest you check out should you choose to. My second book is coming soon, and it is in fact available for pre-order as of the time of this video's release. So depending on when you see this video, it might be the best time to get it, best time to check it out, and then look for its sequel as well. Alternatively, you can also find me on Patreon, link also in the description down below, where where aside from being able to support me directly, you can also receive various perks such as early access to videos and scripts for both this channel and my second one. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.